the blow of increasing prices. However, a section of Kenyans don't have a clear understanding of what a government subsidy is, its source, and how it works in the effort to cushion citizens from the high cost of fuel. Our reporter Cecilia Lubanga brings us an exclusive one-on-one tonight with Marshall Nyangor, an economist who breaks down the realities of the subsidy. Take a look.
Kama inaongeza juu ya reason gani? Unanipata? Hii hawa ni mabuda wamekaa mahali chini wakadiscuss wakaamua kukama na bei.
It's almost 2 days since April landed the new fuel prices, which has increased by 9 shilling, and it is reported to be the highest in history. In order to protect citizens from the high cost of fuel, the government is subsidizing the cost of fuel. And just traversing Nairobi CBD, solely to find out if Kenyans understand what subsidizing means, this is what I came across.
I think needs serikali kuweka fedha pale kujaribu kupunguza gharama kwa consumers.
Hiyo mimi sielewi. Labda useme, uniexplainie. Kama nshuru iko juu, mafuta naenda juu. Sielewi hiyo nini.
Do you understand what subsidy means?
Subsidies, I don't understand.
You don't understand.
Yeah.
So, how does the government subsidy really works, and what is it really about?
First of all, the prices of oil and oil products are kind of regulated, and the reason for this is generally to caution the public against the high inflation or high cost of those products. Some of these products might be quite expensive because maybe they're imported and there's international factors that influence the cost. So the government will probably allow the importers to import them, then pay the importers a margin so that the importers don't have to sell at the price at which they imported them.
Global crude oil prices have been on a sustained increase since the start of the year in the wake of the Russian-Ukraine war, sparked by supply hitches due to the sanction on Russian oil. Most countries in sub-Saharan Africa do not produce their own crude oil, hence rely on imported oil from other countries, which easily affect oil prices.
Kenya does not produce oil, so we have to import, and that means that the international prices have to hit us.
The government subsidy, however, cushioned consumers from paying 184 shillings per litre of super petrol and 188 shillings per litre of diesel.
There was a proposal, I think, around 2021. In fact, it was a bill that came into place and it became a law that the government set up a fund through which now they can be saving some money when the oil prices are low, and then the prices increases to a certain level. At that time, they were looking at anything beyond $50 per barrel in the international prices. So when the prices were to increase beyond $50 per barrel, the government will now come in and start paying the importers the difference so that the importers can sell it at an agreed price. So that has been working since 2021. It worked very well. Those days, the price was very low because the demand for the oil products was low. You remember, most of the companies worldwide were locked. There was a lockdown, so manufacturing was low and everything. So the demand for oil was low, the prices were therefore low. But as the corona effects faded away, companies started picking up. So the demand for these products has started rising.
The government implemented a maximum price cap in 2011 to control marketers who had raised the price of fuel in response to increases in international crude oil prices between 2007 and 2008, but didn't reverse them when the international prices fell at the end of 2008. The price cap is managed by Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority. It sets maximum pump prices every 14th day of the month for various towns and cities in Kenya. The regulatory price takes care of the international crude oil cost, exchange rate, transport, storage, and the marketer's margin.
The demand for this oil has increased to a level that now is not sustainable. So these countries, the countries that were initially selling to Kenya, all of a sudden have demand from Europe and other countries. The initial price they were looking was $50 per barrel. But now, as we talk by today, we're looking at anything above 120 shillings per barrel, $20 per barrel for oil. So that means that the prices have really gone beyond reach of any consumer.
Without the subsidy, the forces of demand and supply would push retail prices beyond the regulatory caps. In its absence, a litre of petrol currently retains
the fund was a bit exhausted, and that's why now you see now every other month Energy Regulation Commission is now increasing the prices by almost, I think the last increase was 9 shillings per litre. When the oil prices were low, very, very low, the Kenyan prices didn't really go that low. The truth is that I think the prices were stuck at between 80 and 90 to 100 shillings, even when the neighboring countries were selling it even lower at 60, 70 shillings. What happened is that there was a margin there. There is around 5 shillings per litre that was being kept aside to set up this fund and to use it. But of course, the speculations are that some of that money was utilized to do other government activities. So the assumption is that it probably is exhausted also.
Kenya should brace for tougher times ahead as high fuel prices are expected. The National Treasury is seeking a gradual adjustment in fuel prices so as to eliminate the fuel subsidy, which has been cushioning Kenyans for otherwise high fuel prices amidst increased global oil prices. In their view, the government can counter the high cost by...
Hopefully, if the situation in the Middle East is resolved and maybe Russia goes back to supplying oils and might stabilize the supply. Once there is enough supply, then the demand matches the supply, maybe the prices start reducing. The other option, again, of course, is international, again, where the OPEC comes in. They need to pump in more oil so that at least they diminish that gap that is created by demand supply as a result of the Russia going out of the supply.
We will continue to pick up the subsidy, probably not at the optimal level, because we are taking the differential, we are taking the entire delta, but it might require us to change that if the situation doesn't improve.
The government subsidy is expected to go an extra mile in protecting citizens from an already grappling economy. Cecilia Lubanga, Look Up TV.